The Bernina Ruffler is an ingenious accessory, something that can handle both lightweight fabrics and heavyweight fabrics. No matter what project you're doing, the ruffler is the one to go to, whether you just need lightweight gathers or actually full on pleats. So I'm going to break this down into 3 parts so you can really see what it's all about. First off, when you're just gathering a single layer of fabric, you'll slide it in where there is an actual scoop to the ruffler foot. So as you actually stitch, it's going to push the fabric to the needle. Now, did you notice how much fabric went on that one single stitch? Right now it's set up to do quite a bit of ruffling. Now, that could be spaced out by adjusting stitch length. Stitch length is the next adjustment that can actually be made for this particular foot. Now, we can adjust that so it doesn't do as full of pleats each time we take a stitch just by taking this screw here and bringing it back out a ways. This will make the scoop not push as much fabric to the needle each time it takes a stitch. See how much gentler that gather is? And that can put a nice finish on any project you're working on. Now, anytime I do a hem to a piece of fabric, it makes it easier for later. So if I've ruffled it, I'm not trying to uncurl it. So you can see I've added using the hemmer foot from last month's video to this project before I started. So right now, do you notice it's actually stitching at every single stitch, giving it a little tiny pleat. Now, if we want to change that, right up here at the top, there's a 1, a 6, and a 12, and right now it's been on 1. So if I actually go and change that to 6, slide that over. Now we'll actually count 6 stitches before it takes a pleat. Now I am going to go ahead and put the screw back in so it takes a little deeper pleat. This gives it a nice classic look as it stitches there. And then that way it just kind of goes along, takes a little pleat as you go. There's also number 12, spreading those pleats out even more. Likewise, we could take the same piece of fabric and ruffle it to a base fabric. To do so, take the base fabric and slide it completely underneath the ruffler. The one you want to ruffle is actually going to go down through the foot and that little scoop area. Now, anytime you're doing the ruffler, you're definitely going to want to take and make a little sample of using the fabric you're going to use on the project. Then you'll know the type of ratio you'll need to set, both the screw and your stitch length. But right now we have it set on 6 and a nice deep pleat, so I'll just take 6 stitches and then a nice pleat. And then when we're done, you can see it has a very nice consistent ruffle to the entire project. So much easier than gathering threads and pulling them all the way through, isn't it? Now to do the ruffle shown on the pillowcase, what you want to do is fold your fabric in half and press it together. Do a little line of stay stitching along the raw edges to help keep them together as it goes to the ruffler. Then set it for a setting of either 6 or 12 pleats for every stitch taken, and then just go ahead and run it through. To get this part to stay flat and be easily inserted into your project, what you want to do is pin it to your ironing board at both ends, and then with a steam iron, press these ruffles into their natural position, and then they'll stay there forever. Use a ruffler for ruffling right down the middle of a bias strip for some neat embellishments for a variety of projects. Whether it's a little girl's dress you're ruffling, a fabric that is of a home dec weight that's doubled up, or like the quilt that's right behind me where they've added ruffles after the quilt has been quilted, using the bias strip fabric and then ruffling it and then applying it to the quilt, this is one accessory that you won't want to be without.